some text and the little box around the edges, and we're done. All right. So we have 4 layers right now: 3D map 1, 2, original, and background. Before we go any further with the 3D maps, we want to confirm this by merging them. I like to play it super safe and leave them like a copy of them separated again too, just in case. That crash earlier really showed us why it's important to kind of make sure we're saving all the time and keeping things backed up. I want to select both 3D map 1 and 3D map 2 right now. The way to do that, select one of them, click on it, turns light gray. Hold down the shift key on your keyboard and click on the other one. You'll see they both go light gray. After you have them both selected, I want you to click and drag them onto the new layer icon down here and then let go. That'll make a copy of both of them. Don't do anything yet because we're going to just merge these 2 copies together. So while they're both selected, hold down the command key and hit E as in elephant. You'll see it just merges them together. We got to rename this one though. Double tap on the text and call it final and then hit return. We can eyeball the other 2 out right now. Don't really need them anymore. All right, image adjustments on this. So maybe we want to edit the brightness, the contrast, the colors, you name it. Here's how to do that. Up at the top where it says image, click on that, and then you'll see adjustments. There's a whole ton in here that you can use. I think the big ones are brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, and color balance. A lot of people will tell you like levels and curves are cool things to mess with as well. I don't know if you need it right now, but you could try it if you want to. I go right for brightness contrast off the bat, and I'm going to lower the brightness a tad, but I'm going to bump the contrast up. And then maybe I could bump brightness up a bit again. Yeah, I actually like it a little bit brighter now with that extra boost of contrast. I'm going to hit OK. So if I hide this, there's my original. There's that brightness contrast boost. I think it is better. Then I'm going to go back to image adjustments, and I'm looking at hue, saturation, and color balance. I like color balance better. Hue saturation, though, is easier to use, so we're going to go into here. Hue. If you move this slider around, it will literally change the entire color of your whole project. Normally, I don't like the results of that, especially if they're all samey colors like this. Saturation will up the color intensity from like really colorful to just black and white. So kind of, play around with that as well. And then lightness is literally black to white or anywhere in between. Try to get that back to 0. If you really want to go super detailed where it says master right here, you can edit individual colors. Now, all these are blue, so for me, it won't really matter. But if I wanted to go in here and like edit like reds, let's say, and I want to change the color of reds, you're not seeing that much change. But there is that one section right there. In editing this film, I'll zoom in on it. You can see that slight color change right there. I'm just going to leave it some random color here. I'm going to hit OK from hue saturation. I think I'll get better results from this. Image, adjustments, and color balance. So color balance has shadows, midtones, and highlights. Shadows are your darker colors, midtones are your middle colors, and highlights are your bright colors. So we can move these around and see if we get cooler results already like that. I don't want to go full magenta or green, so I might just leave that a little to the green. I don't want to go really that way. Highlights, I feel like I always like yellow highlights, but maybe not a whole ton. Kind of have like a warmer look to it right now that I like. I think the magenta really throws it off, and so does the green, so I'm just going to stay away from that slider. Shadows, normally blue for me is cool, but not so much there. Maybe a little bit to the yellow direction. Don't like the green. Oh, I do like the magenta a little bit this time. Yeah, I hit OK. Just to show a little before after, see what I got. This was the before the color balance, that's after. I think the after color balance does look better. I'm sticking with it. All right, so final review of that: image, adjustments, and you're looking at brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, and color balance. All right, long video, but we'll take breaks. We are going to do text, or the box actually first for the text. So we're going to make a new layer right down here, the bottom right, create new layer. Just simply click on it and you should see layer 1 appear. If it was not your top layer, like if it somehow got put in the middle, click and drag and you can see that you can move it up and down. Move it to the tippy top, double click on the thing that says layer 1, and I want you to call this box, B-O-X, and then hit enter. All right, we're going to use a different tool this time. We're going to use the rectangular marquee tool. If you look over here in the top left, it's the second one from the bottom. The hotkey for that tool is M, and it makes a rectangular selection. There's no super right or wrong for this, but I want you to start in kind of like, let me zoom in one. Start in the top left, click and hold, and drag down to the bottom right. And you will see that it makes a little bit of like a dotted ant line. Once you have a box that isn't super close to the edge, but isn't super far away, you can click and let go, or let go of your click, and you'll see that it kind of confirms you can now move your mouse around freely. What we want to do now is we want to two-finger click. So press down with 2 fingers at the same time, and we want to put an outline around this selection. Not on the inside, but the outside. So if you look here, you'll see fill and stroke. Fill would fill the box. I don't want that. Stroke puts kind of like an outline around the box. So click on stroke. It's different than like a heart attack kind of stroke. Width, right here. This, I did some tinkering myself. I think 30 it works. So hit 30 and then type in PX. PX stands for pixels. Color, we're going to go white. So let me hit cancel here real quick. Where this color box is, click on that and then jot that all the way up to white. And then in the top left, and then hit OK. And then location, choose outside instead because I don't really want this inside the box. And then hit OK. 30 is a good size. Now we still have that selection. You still see that dotted line right there? Got to get rid of that. Easiest way to get rid of a selection, if you ever have anything selected where you're like, this is annoying me, I got to get rid of this. Hold down Command and hit D, as in deselect. Boom, it's gone. All right, cool things with the box. I actually think that this image here enables me to do some really neat things. I'm going to zoom in on this left part right here. I'm going to hold down Command and I'm going to tap plus quite a few times. Now, I lost it. The thing that I want is over on the left side right now. How can I get over there? If you don't press down with 2 fingers, but simply rest them on the trackpad and then swipe around. And you'll see that your image swipes around as well. So now I can see this left side of my image. This is what I want right here. Tool that you're looking for here is called the lasso tool. It's right here. You'll see lasso. But I want you to look for polygono lasso tool right there. Second one. How did I get that menu? You can either click and hold on the lasso, like press down and leave it held down and then swipe over. Or you could 2-finger click on the lasso and then it'll stay up and then you can choose it for a little longer anyway. Polygon lasso. And I want to delete this little bit right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click once, and you'll see that once I've clicked once, I can kind of swipe around. I'm just going to click. I'm going to go down here because I'm only on the layer with this little white line. And I made a selection of this white line. Once I have it selected, just double click and it'll snap back to your original point and you get that dotted line again. I want to delete this. There's a key on your keyboard that will delete it. It's called the delete key. Hit it. Boom. Gone. I want to deselect this selection. Hold down Command and hit D. And you'll see that deselects. If I hold Command and tap minus a little bit, see that gives a cool look where like that bar looks like it's kind of almost going behind it. I want to do the same up here, and I'm probably going to make this like a massive selection actually, because I'm going to have it actually go away for like the whole right side of the screen. So you're going to see that I am just going to keep scrolling down as I'm periodically clicking. I'm going to have this wrap around. I'll have it pop up behind that. So then I'm going to take this all the way back up. Double click to confirm that my selection is there. See that dotted line right there? And then I hit delete. Now Command D again to deselect. And there it is. There's my box, but it kind of looks like the other pyramid, if you will, is in front of it. Pretty cool. All right, text. So we're going to make, no, we don't have to make a new layer for text because every time you type text, it auto appears on a new layer. Your text tool is over here on the left side. It looks like a T, the icon does. The hotkey is also T, and we're all going to use the same font. So once you click on the text tool, up here is your font name. You can literally just click right in here and you can type anything. It's the most common font in the entire world. It's used all over, and the reason why it's used so much is that it's the easiest to read font. Well, at least when voting with like graphic designers. It's called Helvetica. So just type in HELV, and you'll see like a whole bunch of Helveticas come up right here. The one that I want you to look for is called Helvetica Bold, right there. Or better yet, actually, this one I like better. Helvetica Neue Condensed Black. Long one. This is a cool font. It's good. It's just like thick. All right, so Helvetica Neue Condensed Black. All right, after that, something else that you look up. Oh, there's the setting right there. See where it says condensed black right here? You can do condensed bold, but condensed black will look cooler. Right here is your size, 16. That's too tiny. So click on that drop down arrow and choose 72. Now we can freely type. So just simply click just once. Don't click and drag. That is so annoying with the text tool. Just make sure that you click. Just click. And you're going to see the words lorem ipsum appear. That is like default stock text. It's meant for you to change it. I want you to type in all caps, and I want you to name your poster or artwork here. I'm going to be calling mine Pyramid, I guess, because it was a pyramid. P-Y-R-M-I-D, pyramid. Is that pyramid? We'll find out. All right, this isn't big enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the move tool. They're up here, top selection. Once I clicked on it, you'll see that box. Again, go to a corner pocket, click once maybe if you need to, and then click and drag, and you can make it bigger. I want you to make it pretty big, and I want you to put it top center so that you get most of it, or all of it, I'm sorry, fitting just about inside that box. You can center it too. It'll snap center for you, which is really handy. There it is. If your text isn't super legible over there, you can leave it. I'm going to, because I think that's cooler. We could mess around with drop shadows and stuff. Hit me up individually. I'll give you some options if you really are like, I can't read my text. It's too white. All right, now we want to do your name, and we want to do your edition number. This is going to be tricky for me because I deleted my box in the right corner, and the edition number normally goes down here in like the bottom right. So go back to the T for the text tool. Click down here in the bottom left. Lorem ipsum's pretty big. For your name, instead of 72, click this drop down arrow. We're going to 16. Everybody's going to do 16 for their name. And then type your name. I'm not doing all caps for my name. Make it a little bit different. I'm going to hold command and hit plus up a little bit and scroll down to this bottom. I'm going to take the move tool, top left tool here, and I'm going to shimmy this into position. See that purple bar that comes up right there? Or pink bar? Magenta bar, that's snapping to the text from the top, which is awesome. So that way they're literally vertically aligned. I want to get this thing kind of close to the both corners, like something that looks pretty similar. All right, moving on over. I have no idea where this box is. This is going to be pretty weird and tricky. I need to type in 02. So I'm going to go back to my text tool, click somewhere, 02. You're going to do 01 probably because this is your first one. I'm going to take the move tool. God, I can't move it. There's no way to move it. You might have to zoom in. If you're too far zoomed out, you can't get a grasp of it to where to move it. So let me see how far I can stay zoomed out while still moving this guy. You do not want to size him up, so you want to make sure that you're moving. I got to figure out where the heck to put this guy. All right, that purple or magenta bar that popped up, that is lining up with the other one. So we're just going to snap this guy over, and when he snaps here, there, maybe zoom out and see if that is aligned. Yeah, wow, look at that. I'm going to click on this tool here, get rid of that. That looks almost aligned. I'm going to bump it up. I'm literally just hitting the arrow keys on my keyboard right now to see. I think that looks better. Hopefully we left some kind of bar. Now that I recommend it, don't delete the bars in your bottom corner pockets because it's hard to line your number. But I'll leave mine like that over there for now with your edition number. You're done. All right, good job, guys.